in the war, either with the British Armed Forces or in the ranks of the armed forces of their adopted countries, such as Canada, Australia, New Zealand and South Africa. Niamh O'Sullivan will now sing a hymn, accompanied by the Barrack Street Band, that reflects that love of country. While the new Irish recruits were getting used to a way of new life in barracks and camps all over the world, the war continued into the autumn of 1914. Many Irish nurses who were living in Belgium at that time found themselves caught up in the conflict. Among these women was Minnie Carney, a young nurse from the town of Dunmanway in West Cork, who was in Belgium at that time with her father. Minnie later described her experiences in a letter she wrote to her mother in October 1914, which will now be read by Mairead Malone of the Irish Great War Society.
My dearest mother, you will be happy to know that I am safe and well, although we have had a very narrow escape. We have been in the direct firing line and for weeks did not know whether we would ever live through the noise and cannons and shells. We have something to thank God for. What the Germans have done is something too dreadful. It is a sad sight to behold. Poor women and little children flying from their homes which are in flames after their husbands and sons being shot. The misery of Belgium is untold. Two of our nuns with father went to bring some wounded villagers during the shelling and were nearly shot. We had to stand about 5 minutes with revolvers pointing at us. simply because we were coming for the wounded. They're devils let loose. I am sure it is only the mercy of God and your prayers that have saved us all. I shall go home next week. We have not had a proper night's sleep for the 9 weeks we are out. We've no idea what war is really until we are in the midst of it. There's no knowing where it all will end. Heaps of love to all. Minnie.
Fortunately, Minnie Carney survived the war and was later awarded the French Medal of Recognition and the Royal Red Cross Medal. While Minnie was writing her letter, the fighting in France and Belgium continued unabated, with hundreds of men being killed and wounded each day. Another Cork-born soldier who was on the Western Front at that time was Henry E. Byford from Clonakilty. Byford had been a rural postman before the war. He was also a reservist, and when the war broke out, he was recalled to his unit, the 5th Royal Irish Lancers. Throughout the war, letters to and from home were the only means of communication that servicemen had with their friends and family. And on the 23rd of November, 1914, Henry Byford wrote the following letter to his friend, Pat McCarthy, an urban district councillor of Clonakilty, which will now be read by Jamie Lynch of the Irish Great War Society.
My dear Matt, I must say I won't be sorry when I get out of this job. It's just awful. One never knows what minute he may be knocked over. Shell and shot are flying everywhere. The shells, of course, will be by far the worst, as they kill so many. I have had two narrow shaves. One in a village called Beagle, where I had my rations blown away from me. I was very lucky to escape injury, as one of us was killed and 3 injured by the same shell. As to the other, we were in the trenches with the German shellers all day. That night, the enemy tried to break through us, but after a terrible crossfire lasted 3/4 of an hour, the Germans retreated, leaving 4,000 killed and wounded. That slaughter was terrible. The place is a few miles from where the press tells you all the fighting is going on. We are not allowed to mention names. The shells and the bullets whistle about them like blazes. I thank God I escaped. When in the trenches, the rain came down in torrents. We were soaked and thick all over with mud. It is so very cold, and it is some comfort to sleep with one blanket on a soft and muddy ground. We have snow here for several days, and it is terrible to stand in those trenches frozen to the bone. The Germans were only 50 yards in front of us a few days ago, but we didn't half let go at them. We had to fix our bayonet for a charge, but the enemy retreated. We were relieved from the trenches and marched about 25 miles, reaching our rest camp about 9 hours later. I was almost frozen and the poor horses could scarcely stand. We had to walk a great deal. My horse did go down, but I was walking up at the time. We passed through what had once been a beautiful city, as large as Cork. Not a single building remained standing. There was a chapel there once, one of the finest in the world. That too was wholly destroyed. Never mind, luck cannot attend these sort of things. I've heard good news. The Germans are gradually suffering defeat, and the Austrians are almost done up. I hope I have the luck to get it through this all. All the best, Harry.
Ivor, come on! You're all the lad, let's go, come on!
Come on, make sure this letter gets home, will you?
I think we're look at you, come on, let's go! Come on, I get it wrong, come on!
Unfortunately, Henry Byford's luck ran out, and he was killed in action on the 5th of January 1916. His remains were never recovered, and today is commemorated on panel 5 of the Men Engaged in Belgium.